Hello, on this weekend. So, I came across a book the other day at this bed and breakfast that I've stayed in, and it gave me pause to reflect on modern day people versus old timey people, right? Old fashioned, older people. The book was about the inaugural addresses that US presidents have made since from George Washington to George W. Bush back in the last one being 2005. They give a transcript of the inaugural address that the president made. As I said, starting back in 1789 with George Washington and the last one being with Bush Jr. in 2005. And you read these, and how people used to talk, the older generations of and this isn't about a particular country. It's a product of modern day world and how we are communicating and relating. But I read some of them, Washington's, Thomas Jefferson's, Madison's, even as recent as, say, President Eisenhower or Kennedy in the 20th century. And the language that they use, the grammar, the illustrative quality of their speech, the literary style with which it was presented. You don't hear that anymore. This video is not about those inaugural addresses of the US presidents. I'm just comparing the way people used to talk and used to communicate and used to have a high intellect about things and a curiosity to how we are today. And it's beyond sad, of course. You watch the old black and white shows and movies. There's even something on YouTube where these high school age children, it's a black and white series of interviews and debates, people from different countries, and they are engaged in a nice debate, and they're high school children, and they are speaking very eloquently, very articulate, and their vocabulary and their grammar is very high. And for a high school, nowadays you talk to high school kids, they can barely construct a sentence. And vocabulary, it doesn't go beyond perhaps emoji level, emoticons, or four-letter vulgarities perhaps. And it's just a symptom. It's just another sign of the absolute degradation, deterioration, and rot that has occurred in not just Western society, but society at large on this particular matter. And the lack of creativity, critical thought, you can tell it when you talk to somebody. The lack of absorption of any kind of materials. Reading is all but an obsolete art, much like the churches in Europe are obsolete and just relics of the past. Reading is a relic of the past these days, it seems. But I just wanted to present this because it's something that's been on my mind for a long time. As somebody who started reading a dictionary and encyclopedia sets at the age of 3 and 4 and was so engrossed with it and stuck with it pretty much my whole life, and then went to higher level advanced academic books and learning. It just astounds me. But the technology has only exacerbated this problem with the inability to communicate effectively, with dumbed down language. It's only made it worse. And it's facilitated this dumbing down. Because the technology is neutral, it can be good or bad, but we've turned it into this monster, this utilitarian machine that doesn't really do much good. It doesn't enhance a person's character. It doesn't enhance their knowledge, so to speak. It's not research by just typing in a search engine like Google or some chat bot artificial intelligence garbage and it spits out an answer. That's not called research. And real research is honestly all but a lost art as well, it seems. And so we've used the technology for not so good means. We've had an anti-intellectual movement in America, in the West, for the last 30 plus years. It's something that I've seen firsthand with people finding it cool to speak slang and dumb down language, to mimic certain lowest common denominator types and just be that way. And that's part of it too. There are many, many aspects to this. But at the end of the day, as the second law of thermodynamics states, everything breaks down, everything goes toward chaos and entropy and disorder and rubble. And maybe that's just where we are. And people like me are the last holdouts for a more traditional, a saner, more refined and enriching life. That's all for now.